So if you had to choose one sneaker from each brand, what would that sneaker be? I know to most sneakerheads, this is like a scenario that's as close to hell as possible. Having to choose one shoe for each brand sounds like a nightmare scenario, but this is to kind of choose the most iconic, what's the one shoe that represents that brand? This might be controversial for a lot of people, but I'll try my best to justify my picks. I'll start with the big one, Nike. Let's just get it out of the way. So this one, it's kind of tough, but my choice will be as simple and as straightforward as possible. It has to be the Air Force One. I mean, the white Air Force One is a shoe that transcends countries, cultures, decades. If you put on a pair of jeans with a plain white t-shirt and a fresh pair of Air Force One, your hair, it's so clean, it's so transcendent, it just speaks to the heart. It's a sneaker moment for anyone and everyone. Also, the Air Force One, it's always available to buy. It won't break the bank for you. It's not a reselling thing. You can find it. When I think of Nike, that's the one shoe I think that everyone should have in their collection. Obviously, there is a couple of honorable mentions. Air Max 95, Air Max 97, they're up there with how Air Max 1, with how iconic they are. These silhouettes are also Nike and also could have made the top position. Everything I said for Air Force One, the same stands for these silhouettes as well. I love them, but I'm here to make one choice, and my choice is Air Force One for Nike. At number 2, we're gonna go with Jordan brand, and this one is a bit picky because Jordan brand is a basketball brand, and by default, these silhouettes have a lot of basketball history to them. Michael Jordan wore them on court, most of them, and they do facilitate a certain style of outfits and dressing. Most of them are high tops. I'm gonna stick to the original, to the high tops. These models, all of them have lows, but I'm not gonna go with any of the lows because I will pick something in its purest format, and the way it came in the box and the way Jordan wore the shoe, essentially. So I think my three, it's not three. Basically, there are 5 shoes to me that could make the first place. Is the Air Jordan 1, the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 11. These are my favorite Jordans of all times. You'll hear me talk about them in different episodes in more depth. But for the purpose of this episode, if I had to choose the one Jordan everyone should have in their collection, I think it's going to be the one. Because let me put it this way. When you ask a kid to draw a sneaker, to me, the idea of the emoji of that drawing that comes from a child, that's the Air Force One. That's what a sneaker is. Essentially, when I hear the word sneaker, that's what comes to mind. When I hear the word hamburger, McDonald's comes to mind. The Big Mac comes to me. It's like someone created it in Photoshop. It's as if it's not even a real burger. Same with Jordan 1. It's the most iconic silhouette of a basketball sneaker anyone could aim for. And obviously I would go with the Chicago colorway, but the reason I'm going with Jordan 1 is because it comes out in so many amazing colorways that can facilitate any kind of taste. So I'm not even going to list them. If you go and do your own research, the Air Force One,
something's wrong with you. Really, you're wasting my time.
Has come out in some amazing summer options, winter options. You can dress them up, you can dress them down. There's a lot you can do. There's obviously the low, which I mentioned in the beginning, but I'm not going to go with the low for this choice. Air Force One high, the way Mike wore them the first time and changed the history of sneakers. So that's my pick for the Jordan brand. Moving on, let's go with New Balance. New Balance, for those who are not in the know, it's a sneaker brand for sneaker connoisseurs. It's for those who know. And I want to be completely honest, and I'm not going to play the expert. I'm not going to play the guy who knew. Actually, I didn't know. This is a brand that I've been falling in love with the past couple of years, learning more, researching more, And I'm in love with the history, and I'm in love with what the brand represents, the premium quality of materials, the fit. If you've ever put a New Balance on your feet, you know what I'm talking about. They're shoes that are made for comfort, and they look amazing at the same time. If you asked me 5 years ago, I'm gonna be honest, I would call it like a dad shoe. I didn't think it was cool enough. Now I'm growing older. I'm not a dad, but yeah, probably age has something to do with it. But I find New Balance is so comfortable, so cool, so effortless to wear. And my choice here is between two silhouettes, 990 and 993. I think they are equal, they are staples of the brand. They are the two silhouettes that when you think of New Balance, they are the iconic silhouettes. But again, I have to make one choice. My choice for New Balance would be the 993. Guilty pleasure, if I had to choose specifically which one I would choose, I would go for the 993 Joe Freshgood collaboration in the powder pink, dusty pink. I don't remember the name. It was a pack of 3 colors. There was a pink one, a blue one, and a pistachio one. I love all of them, but the pink one is one I still do not have in my collection, but very soon it's very high in my list to get. That's my guilty pleasure. I'm not gonna put it as my official pick simply because it's a collaboration. It's very expensive. It comes in a resale price, so I have to tone it down and go with the general release. So I'll go with the gray, like the white and gray 993 V4. I think it's the one that speaks to me, and it's the one I would go for. Moving on, let's go with Asics. Asics, again, is a brand with a lot of history. It's a brand with a lot of loyal followers, and it's a brand that is having a moment right here, right now. A lot of its collaborations and bringing back some of its iconic models give you that 90s feel that I don't want to call it vintage, but it has some vintage vibes to it. So for me, the pick for the Asics one, it wasn't hard. I didn't have to choose between a lot of silhouettes. I think it's pretty clear for me. It's the Gel Kayano 14. I do own a general release pair that is silver and brown. It's so clean, it's so minimal, it's so easy to wear with a pair of fresh white socks. You can wear it with long jeans, you can wear it with shorts. It's absolutely amazing. Again, guilty pleasure. The one pair I do not have but wish could have is the Jaun collaboration, the silver, cream and black one. That's the one for me that could kind of top my list and would love to have in a connection. But once again, it's not my official pick because it's very expensive. You only can get it resale, and it's not something anyone can have in their collection. So that's my pick for Asics, Gel Kayano 14, a GR release. For me, it would be the pair I do own, the brown and silver one. And last but not least, let's go with Adidas. Obviously, with Adidas, I love a lot of the Yeezy pairs, but I kind of separate Yeezy as its own brand. I don't want to do this to Adidas. Is a brand with its own history, its own heritage. It goes back. It has been the official Nike rivals for decades on end. And I think for younger generations, they think that Adidas is Yeezy is Kanye West. But when it comes to picking one shoe that shouts, scream Adidas to me, that would probably be the Samba. I think the Samba is a pair that is very, very clean. It's the Air Force One of Adidas, in my opinion, when you compare it to Nike. Is that one shoe that you can dress up, dress down. It's a low cut shoe. It's just so effortless. You can wear it all day long and just feel cool with that pair of shoes. Now, specific colorway, again, guilty pleasure. The one for me is a recent collaboration between Adidas, Keith, and Clarks. I think it was a pack of 3 again, and I like not the totally black one, but the cream brownish with the black stripes. That's the one for me that I want to add to my collection. Again, expensive shoe, resale. So if I had to go with the GR colorway, I do not own one at the moment. I've had Sambas in the past, but they fell out of my rotation. A GR colorway for me would be something pretty simple, something in a black and white color. That's it, folks. I know some of these picks might be controversial. I would love to know what you think. It's a tough task to just assign one shoe to brands that we would all love to have storage units full of silhouettes. There's so many shoes I could have gone in either direction, but I tried my best. We all associate each brand with a different shoe, so give me your picks, and until next time.